It's straight talk with no chaser. It gives the people a voice, empowers you with a choice. She gives you straight talk, no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. She provides a platform of growth and gives a dying people hope. She gives you straight talk, no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser.
Welcome to the Straight No Chaser Show on intellectualradio.com, an iHeartRadio station. This is your host, Rhea Ray Harris, and I am so grateful to be with everyone this evening. Well, my entrepreneur tonight is, let's see, for those of you who have not heard of her, we have Imani Muhammad, who is the creator of Imani's Original Bean Pies. How are you today?
Fine, and you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much. And she has a part of her squad here. To your immediate left is Hadiya Muhammad. How are you?
I'm doing good.
We have Devon Hall Stiff. How are you?
How you doing?
And we have Samira Muhammad. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. Thank you so much. I love polite young people, girl. I do. Now, Imani, for those in the Chicago area, we always have to do this. Where are you from?
I'm from Chicago. I was raised in Chicago. So
What side of the town?
every side.
Every
from
side.
Maywood to the west side, south side, Roseland, when it was good in Roseland. Yeah.
You had to clarify that.
Well,
sadly.
when we were in Roseland, we enjoyed it. I mean, everyone knew everyone, and we
It was
rode
a
our bikes
community.
for blocks and blocks, and yeah.
See,
So
that's going to be another show. We're going to talk about the way things
I
were.
love living there.
Now, having been born and raised here, were you encouraged to be an entrepreneur, or were you encouraged, like so many people, to quote unquote get a job?
I think growing up, most of us, well, from my understanding, I'm pretty much taught to grow up, go to school, get a job. Um, when I was in college, I already had a son. He's not here. He's older than them. And my child care provider at the time, her name was Mrs. Howard. She is the one that really kind of embedded that in me. I would spend hours at night just sitting talking to her when I pick up my son. And it was always do something for yourself. And she was actually encouraging me to work with her. She felt like I did well with children. And that
Okay.
was my calling. And, being young and we know it all. It's like, no, I'm going to school for computers.
I got something bigger on the screen.
Right. So a couple years later, after Akeem was a little older and Hadia joined us, guess what I ended up doing? Running to Miss Howard's house. Guess what I do? I have a home daycare as well. So we did that.
So that was your first entrepreneurial venture? Was your own daycare?
Let's say first major one. I did a lot of things as like a young adult or teenager that trained me, I think, along the way as well, because I worked for in sales. I worked for Cooper Enterprises at the time. They like Fuller products, basically. And so
Okay.
that's where I learned, sales and things like that. Kind of open you up. I was a real kind of, I hate to say it, but shy child. So those steps were necessary.
So it gave you a little more confidence.
Mhm,
So although you thought you were going to be a computer analyst or
Right.
technician, you found yourself opening your own child care center.
Exactly.
How long did you do that before you had a different vision for your entrepreneurial
So
ship?
let's say what, about maybe 13, 14 years, somewhere in there, 13, well, yeah, about 2014. And actually this business grew out of the daycare.
Explain that.
You all want it? Or you want me
Now,
to?
wait, for those of you who do not know, these are her children who are a part of her business, something that we need to discuss a little bit later as
Okay.
far as legacy building.
Oh,
So now in 2014, you were still doing the
the
child
daycare.
care.
Mhm.
And how did we segue from child care to what is now a really big venture, Imani's
Okay.
Original Bean Pies?
So in about 2005, we were doing a homeschool project with Hadia at the time. Um, it was about the navy bean. It was a project centered around the navy bean. Why is it healthy? Where did it get its name from? And then of course we, made some dishes that incorporated navy beans. It was the bean pie, bean soup, and bean salad. And the soup and the pie was good. The salad was not so good. And my husband and others started saying, well, you know what, this could be a business. These taste really good. And I think we then did like a fundraiser for the daycare, and it went really well.
And was the fundraiser
Selling the bean pies.
selling bean pies? Okay.
And it went well, and people kept asking, and we kept selling them, and it kind of grew from there. And what I wanted to do was show our youth that we can make and manufacture our own products. So we still have children now that, as you see, they're you know, much taller than us now. And we have others that were in the daycare that work with us as well.
When you say you all started that small, just dealing with a small fundraiser, and people were, saying, hey, this is a great product. What in you said, okay, I'm going to take this a step further and make this an actual business?
It was the children, talking to them, and again wanting to show them that we can make and manufacture our own products, and to even think deeper than just one product. I think we kind of talked about it a little more, but thinking what type of businesses grow from one thing: agriculture, computer text, graphic artists, just so many different things. And I wanted to show them that we don't have to go to school, get a job per se. We could actually have a plan, and in our own minds. And it's, so it's a lot of centered around that. When we talk about business, I want them to understand not just being in business or working for yourself, but understanding finance and all of the other things that come about.
And that's real business. Because a lot of people, as I've discussed with the past entrepreneurs, have a dream and they jump out there, but a lot of times people don't have a plan, and they don't understand the not so fun part of business. It's fun to get the graphics on, on Facebook and all the advertisement, but where's the budget? Where's the funding? Those type of things. How do we have a 5-year plan for growth? Where's our product coming from? Where's the backup if that place, falls down? So there are a lot of things that come into play with a business of your own that aren't just going to a 9-to-5 job where you just show up, someone gives you the paper and the pen and whatever else, and then you go home at the end of the day. Because an entrepreneur has to put a little more time into what they're doing to develop their own.
A lot more. But I'm glad you brought that up. In regards to that, because I think I did put the cart before the horse, if you will, because we were just making the pies, and it was just, growing more and more into a business, but there was no initial, planning process and all of that. So a lot of it was by faith. But I always tell the children that, we want each generation to grow. And so if I struggle through business, I don't want to see you struggle the same way. Not that you won't have struggles, but it doesn't have to be the same struggle. So we kind of put the cart before the horse as well. And we didn't have the budget and all of those things in place. When you talk in terms of growing in the way that we're growing in distribution into stores, when we get to that. So I ended up taking a class at Bethel New Life. It's on the west side of Chicago.
Yes, I'm familiar with Bethel New Life.
Small business development. And we're still working on it, but it started from just, okay, the class was, let's build the business plan. And then we know centered around that, we get into finance. How do we build budgets? How do we get to the point where we're making some money? Is the price right? Originally, the price was not right. And so through it all, I had to stick with business. And I'm saying, well, I'm growing, but I'm making less money. Like I'm growing, I don't have any money. And, just learning all of those things as we go. I just feel like as we look at even other nationalities, they did pretty much the same thing. They started out in a struggle, but we don't expect the next generation to struggle the same way. So when you talk about legacy, that's, one of the things that I share with my children.
Let me talk with them for a minute. Hadia, how are you again?
I'm doing good. You?
Fine. When you look at your mom saying, we're going to take your science project, your project, and actually build a business around it, what did you think about it? Did you want to be involved, or was it, okay, I'm just going to go because I'm here, or, how did that play out for you?
When I first started, I was like 10, and I thought it would be cool to sell pies and get money because I really didn't think that deep into it.
Sell pies, get money. That works for me. Okay. And at 10, I would expect you to think too much more about it. But now, as you've gotten a little older, what do you think about it now? How does it look to you?
It looks pretty good, and it's something that I really appreciate because now I know when I get older, I'll have something that is my own, and I won't have to pretty much rely on, because I'm going to school to be an accountant. I know that I won't have to look for a big corporation after I graduate to work for, because I already have a corporation of my own to work for. So
that's going to be your contribution to the business long term, is making sure the funding and the accounting and the taxes and all that are handled correctly.
Yes.
I didn't want to give that away. That's why I named everything else except that.
All right.
So,
Devon, how are you?
How are you?
I'm wonderful. Now tell me, what do you do? Because you had to be even younger when this came up.
Yeah, I was.
Probably like real young.
No, I'm only a year younger.
Oh, okay. So you were there. You were close. What did you think about the business?
I mean, kind of the same thing. I mean, selling pies,
getting money.
making money.
Selling pies, getting
but
money.
tell us what you all mean by that. What did you do to sell pies and get money?
Oh, when we were younger, we mostly just was the cute ones that come up to people. Would you like to buy a bean pie? So they said, of course,
Because they didn't want to turn down a cute kid. And as you've developed with this and gotten older, do you see yourself staying within the family business, or perhaps venturing out and creating your own business?
I see myself staying with the business right now. Just staying with the business.
And what do you do in the business today?
I work mostly on the production side, making a bean pie.
Obviously, we're not still the cute kid going out.
Nah.
We're not doing the cute kid thing anymore. Okay. And Samara, how are you?
I'm fine.
Now, so you were a little younger, just a little bit?
Yeah. I was 3 years younger than her. So
Okay. You were close, but younger.
Yeah.
So you were really on the, can I have some money and just sell some pies?
Yeah. It's just really whatever to me because I'm a little kid. I didn't have an opinion.
Now that you're a little older and you do have an opinion, are you interested in staying with the family business?
Yeah.
And do you have any thoughts of your own about what you would like to do with it, and what do you do now?
Well, right now, now I would mostly help out, get everything ready for demos and plan demos and.
You can say it. You can say
I
it.
cut.
We're not gonna laugh.
I cut samples.
Okay, so you're the person that when there's a pop-up shop, you're the face of the company sometimes.
I'm behind the scenes more to get it get everything situated.
Okay, so you're the prep for the pop-up shop. Got it. And you like that? That's where you feel kind of comfortable right now?
Yes, because I like being behind the scenes more.
So
to help out.
Wait a minute. Which of the three of you is the face of the company then?
Hadia.
Well, they quick to throw you out there like that's her. So besides getting your accountant degree, you're actually the most visible out of the three of you for the public.
Yes.
And how was that a conscious decision, or did that just kind of manifest holistically?
It kind of just happened because I was always the one put on, like, because I was the oldest, I always knew how to talk in front of a lot of people. And I've always done that, and I've always been good at it. So it kind of just happened.
And Mom, you just said, hey, this
So
works.
they should explain, like she should explain what she does and why she's,
Oh yeah,
you
I
know,
currently do demonstrations in the store. I give out samples and spread information about the company. Making sure that we're known out here.
I want you to stop right there for one moment because, see, we went from cute children selling bean pies to, you mentioned, store. There's a gap in there in the story. How did we go from Devon being cute to you're in stores now? What happened in that time?
Okay, well, we still use his cuteness sometimes, but so we started, of course, in like small stores, restaurants, and things like that, and then
How did you even get into? Because I'm asking because there's so many people that do cupcakes and cake pops and all these types of things, and they never get off of the Facebook advertisement level. So how did you actually get into smaller restaurants and stores?
And so I said I was gonna maybe write a book that just say I ask. When you want something, you ask. So what happened? You say, well, did you have everything you need? No. So my husband had called, played phone tag for almost a year with a major grocery store. It was Ultra Foods, and when he finally got a sit down with him, we came. We had a bean pie with shrink wrap, with film wrap on it, and a little label that I printed off of a home
A laser printer.
Yeah. No.
Oh, the old school printer at the house.
Off of an inkjet at home. So yeah, literally with a little faded bean pie and Imani's original bean pie. And we went and we told them we were interested in being in their stores. We told them what we had done. We gave him a sample of our products. He tasted them, and we said, now you tell us what to do with this, would you please? He talked to us for about 2 hours.
Wow.
Everything that we needed, from UPC codes, from the packaging, where we could probably get some from. Then he even went so far as to, he had a distributor sitting out there all the time waiting to come in to see him. He says, well, he comes to see me a few times a week. This is what he does. And he introduced us to him in case we wanted to go that route of using a distributor to distribute our products in stores and things like that. So that was the start of, I would say, larger stores for us. When we went to Ultra, were we in Fair Play? I want to say we were in Fair Play Foods already.
Okay.
So we kind of got a feel, like I said, we put the cart before the horse. So we kind of did our own, which I don't advise this part. So we kind of did our own research, if you will, which by just experiencing, as opposed to a research company coming in doing it for us. Like I would advise that part today. But in terms of getting in stores, ask.
And it sounds so simple.
And it is.
Okay.
Ask and be tenacious.
Okay, ask and don't give up.
So remember, I said I learned sales. So study. I was reading to them, I think something Mark Cuban said, they asked him if he lost everything, what would he do? He said, I go work overnight, a job bartending or something, but I'll do sales during the day. Because if you can sell, if you're not afraid to talk, if you're not ashamed I wasn't ashamed. I know the pie tastes good, but I didn't know where to go and get the packaging. I knew what it needed, but not, I didn't know where I should go. And so you can't be ashamed. You got to know how to sell yourself. This is what I know that we could do. I know that we're hardworking, and we have a product that is not in the stores. So it's really kind of a no-brainer, right? So I always tell people, don't do the regular cupcake everybody does. Do something that's different. And then, so that's one key. And then, but the main thing is to ask.
Wow.
Because I see people sell granola, but we sell granola, by the way, but it's one lady, that's her business, period. Just granola. And the first thing Whole Foods said was everybody sells granola. But that didn't stop her from selling granola. So maybe she changed some things. Maybe she made it different. I don't know.
But eventually she's selling granola.
So
now wait a minute, you mentioned that you also sell granola. What else falls under the Imani Original Bean Pies label?
So right now, basically the variations of bean pies. We have an original bean pie. We have one with the homemade cream cheese frosting on top. And then we have vegan bean pies. So that's the thing that kind of set us off different.
Stop. Tell me, what is a vegan bean pie?
So a vegan is no dairy in there.
Okay.
Basically. So we have vegan original, we have a blueberry vegan, and a banana vegan as of to date. On our website and at the Healthy Food Hub, we sell the granola, but it's not in stores. It's in one store on 79th. Can I say it? It's on 79th and Emerald, Soldiers at War. We'll have it in that store, but that's it. It may be Culture Connection on 71st and Stewart.
Now, for the vegan bean pies, because as of late, with people having so many food allergies, sensitivities, and just wanting to have a different level of health, how well do those sell?
So they sell well in health food stores and Whole Foods. I think, of course, not in the grocery stores. It depends because we have to really let people know that it's there. So a lot of vegans don't really know to look for it or whatever the case. And then our blueberry vegan, a lot of people that are not vegans eat that if they taste it. So that's what makes them do well.
Now, I saw a picture of you, and it was a display that you must have set up, Samara. And I think it was at the Whole Foods on 63rd in Halsted.
Oh no, they set all of that up.
Okay.
They did all of that.
But you were there when they first opened, right?
Right, we did the grand opening.
How did that come about? Because a lot of people, from what I understand, tried to be there. But said, many were called, few were chosen. A lot of them did not get there.
Really? Because they had 35 Black vendors.
Trust. Yep. There were some people that did not make it there.
Okay. So what happened with us with Whole Foods was that we had already presented to Whole Foods maybe 3 times before Inglewood ever took place. When we were accepted in, but for whatever reason, we weren't getting the job done. The person that accepted us in would leave, and then he put us off on someone else. That person left, and so we were already, some of our information was in the system for Whole Foods when we met with I guess Julie Blueball and Cecile, who is Julie Blueball. I think you all may have saw us on the news together for Whole Foods because we did a news piece for the Inglewood. The funny thing is they came into my kitchen one day. And so I was already working with Bethel and Greater Inglewood on 63rd Street. So they were trying to get us in, and I said, hey, they came into the kitchen and gave me their cards. They're like, oh, well, call them and get it, let's get it done. And so that's kind of how that went for us. Okay. But from my understanding, and I didn't find this out until after the grand opening, they actually took people that didn't even have a product. They just had a thought. And they worked with them from there. Okay, bring us a sample of what you want to do.
Manifest.
And then here, okay, we're going to help you with packaging it and starting a business, getting everything you need from insurance to UPC codes. So some people told me they were helped from that extent to get into Inglewoods.
Because I know one of the big draws for the Inglewood Whole Foods was that it was going to have more of a community feel as far as some of the products that were in the stores. Mm-hmm. So to hear that they went through that effort is actually commendable. Yeah. Now, for the production line, sir, how is the production line set up? Because Are you still at home making bean
We
pies,
wish.
or where are we doing this, and how do we do this? Where do the products come from?
Right now we working out of a commercial kitchen, so we're not doing it at home. Yeah, it's just a commercial kitchen, upstairs, downstairs, a lot of ovens. Just yeah.
So, where do you get your ingredients from? Is that something that you all have an organization that with whom you barter and partner?
We we do and don't to an extent. When Muhammad Farms come to town, I try to get like everything we can from them. Um, we've partnered with the Healthy Food Hub with Fred Carter and Dr. Wright. But most of the time for right now, we're buying a lot of our product from like wholesale, like Restaurant Depot and things like that. We are working to partner with other people, but on the agriculture, from an agricultural standpoint, we're working. Hopefully, we can get it started this year. I don't know because it's really soon, but we're working with someone to possibly help us with growing navy beans.
Because that's
So,
what I was thinking. At some point, to make this an all-inclusive business, you have to get to that level with it.
mhm.
Now, I know some of your daycare children, you said, are now working.
Right, so they do demos and some of the things that well, mostly sales. So that's pretty much what we're working on. Actually, tomorrow will be our first class where we're teaching sales and entrepreneurship. So I'm trying to bring in more people to kind of help with that are already doing things in that uh,
That have
manner,
that vein.
Right. So they're already doing. So there's so many dynamics to it. So when we talk about sales, we have a sister that teaches acting, but she was explaining that it's not. Um, well, one of her partners was explaining that it's not um, what you think. You don't have to become an actor. You may be learning just to present yourself, how to speak to people, how to be comfortable with talking in crowds. And I'm like, yeah, we got to incorporate that because that's one of the main things we need. And I think with social media today, it's beginning to shut down a lot of our youth, and they have so much to offer. So if we can, create avenues to bring it out. So it's a lot of dynamics to it, and we got business planning, we have sales, but then we have to incorporate the financial literacy.
Before we even touch that, was part of the original vision to have the young people be a part? Not just your children, but the young people with whom
That
you
was
were
the original
familiar? Okay, and that has
and
actually
even
worked.
to eventually bring in others as well. And we've brought in people that weren't in the daycare that worked at events or demos. Yeah.
Now, going back to that financial literacy statement, because a huge number of businesses, and in particular food-based businesses, don't make it past the first few years because of financial issues. So, with the financial literacy part, what exactly is it that you feel are like the most important things people need to understand?
Ooh, how to save, how to save, and how to invest. And I think in regards to youth, that you don't have to be an adult to start doing that.
Now, wait a minute, because Hadia, Miss Accountant, when you would look at it from a business perspective, what would be the first thing you would tell a business owner that they need to have in line financially?
Capital, just something to back the business. It can be, and it doesn't even have to be like finances. It could be some property you own, just something.
Something by which you can
Yeah.
access money.
Yes.
And that's a good point because, again, a lot of people get out of here, like I said, with a dream and a prayer and no money. And it gets really hectic. And a lot of people go on the hole,
Yeah.
Buying things.
Because I've been there.
And their
Absolutely.
desire is to make a business happen, but they don't have a financial understanding of how that has to manifest. Now, Samara, when you think about the displays and the pop-up shops that you've set up, if you had your dream for your business, which is Imani's Original Bean Pies, where would you want to see a big, gigantic setup? Is there like a particular store or maybe your own bakery, or what would you like to see happen?
Well, like within like a particular store, I would like for a bigger setup to be in Whole Foods because it is a larger store and a lot of people do come in and out of the store. And yeah,
So you would prefer to be a bigger part of an established store?
yeah.
Okay. Imani, have you thought about opening your own bakery at any point?
We have thought about it. We've been talking about it and what it'll take and things like that. But I think in our plan and our model, we wanted to increase the stores that we're in first, um, because we had already kind of started on that route, and because of the space and where we are now, we haven't even basically capped out on that space. If you could, like, for example, if you go into a commercial shared use kitchen like ours, and you're in there 6 days a week, and maybe 10 hours a day, and you can't get any more hours, then you're saying, oh, I gotta, start thinking about, maybe we can increase to 7 days, but we got to get out of here. And right where we are now has a lot of space, so we're thinking we could maybe get ourselves in a better financial cushion before we venture out on the bakery.
What stores and restaurants are Imani's Original Bean Pies in?
So we're in, I think I mentioned Culture Connection at 71st and Stewart, Soldiers at War at 79th and Emerald. We're in the Whole Foods, Inglewood, Hyde Park, South Loop, Evanston on Green Bay Road, and Kingsbury.
Okay.
And then we're in Pete's Fresh Markets, Evergreen, Calumet City, and on the west side, Madison and Western.
Can't leave the west side
At
out.
the see, they say we're not doing them right, so we got to get more stores on the west side. So we're working on it. We're working on it. Is that I missed some stores. Bonsanti Health Foods in Hyde Park, Kramer's on downtown. Kramer's Heritage Health Foods in Country Club Hills, Chicago Health Foods on the Gold Coast. It's another one. Southtown.
Beverly.
Oh, our favorite. Southtown Health Foods in Beverly.
On 95th Street.
Name another one.
I don't know.
So guess what? You could go to our website at imanisoriginal.com, and it has a list of the stores that we're in. And we also sell online throughout the United States.
Now, let's say I was having a function, and because I know a lot of people like to do dessert tables, etc. And one of the items I would want to have on my dessert table be Imani's Original Bean Pies. How would I get in touch with you? Via the website?
You can through our website. Our number is on there. Our number is on all our products. So we're very easy, and it's all over the internet. So it's very easy to get in contact with us. You could contact us via email or phone or text.
And do you do a lot of catering?
We do, but not in the sense where we want to kind of go more into actually setting up or giving settings for dessert tables. But people do call us and say, hey, we need 12 pies for an event we're having and things like that. And so that's through our wholesale option on our website.
Okay.
So,
Samara, in 5 years for you, where do you see yourself being as Samira Muhammad and as a part of Imani's Original Bean Pies?
We better tell this joke because you all are going to think we crazy.
Yeah. Well, I was doing. You want me to tell a joke?
No, don't tell me. Okay. Tell her the truth first, then we'll tell the joke.
I see myself as like watching somebody else do my job for me, like a supervisor or a manager, just so I can be like, just to guide everybody else and
make sure it's done correctly.
Yeah, you do it. Make sure it's done right.
And are you planning on branching out and doing anything of your own, or you hardcore?
Yes, I plan after high school. I'm planning on going to school to be a nurse,
Okay.
but I also still want to be
You still want to be vested
work.
in the company. Okay. Devon, 5 years, where are you going to be? How do you see this playing out for you?
As a manager over the production side, just basically make sure everything's done right. Yeah, that's it.
You're not going to grow any Navy beans?
Um, I guess being a farmer, if we reach the point of farming for our own food, maybe I guess.
Okay. Now, Hadia, I know you said you were going to handle the funding side, but is it more to that than just keeping the numbers in the row? Do you see an expansion of that type of role for you?
Well, yeah, eventually, you know, that that will expand. We might need more than one accountant, because when it's a lot coming through, you might need more than one person to check behind and stuff like that. I would want to be the one to check behind other accountants.
I'm the accountant that watches the accountants.
Yes.
So,
Um,
so your children are going to be managers.
What it is I've worked them so hard.
They said we have to watch somebody else
We're gonna
do
have
some
to
work.
start watching other people do some of this work.
But beyond that, are you looking at being able to find other streams of income as a part of your job description?
yes, I would like to be a certified public accountant, and I'd also like to teach some financial literacy classes too. Like go maybe do a couple workshops and teach people because it's not a lot of finance. People aren't very financially literate.
No, and you can teach some real grown people that because there's a
Yeah.
lot of them that don't know.
Yeah, well, mhm.
Now, Imani, if someone approached you and said, you know what, I want to invest in Imani's original bean pies, is that an option?
So it will be when my lawyer finishes setting it up, but that's the plan. hmm
And in 5
And
years,
we are open to sitting down with
And having that
serious
conversation.
individuals.
in 5 years down the road, what do you see?
It's 5 years. So I see expansion in a lot more stores than we're in. I think our goal for this year is like over 50. Well, I'm thinking I think our goal was set up until, well, we're a little behind. It's a long story, but we're a little behind. So I'm going to say for this year, it was about 50.
50
Mhm.
stores.
Mhm.
And within that 5 years, are you looking at seriously having a farm so that you can manage your own growth of products?
So I'm looking at doing that to a certain degree. I would really like to merge with someone on that, preferably, to go into business with someone else on doing that. But we have land down south, and I'm just trying to learn so that I can be comfortable enough to say, hey, we can now hire people to
handle
do
that
things
part.
here. So right now, I've been talking a lot about merging with someone that does that. So
Okay.
mhm.
Well, I thank you all so much for being guests on the Straight No Chaser show on Intellectual Radio. And tell them again how to reach you, not the stores, but the website.
Okay, right. ImanisOriginal.com. That's IMANIS original, ORIGINAL.com.
And all the stores are listed as well as any opportunities to contact you for
Right.
personal shows and parties, etc.
Exactly.
Well, my mother's gonna be disappointed. I'm about to go over and get a bean pie since you didn't bring
Well,
her
I
one.
think I got one. I think I do.
I'm about to take one to my mama
Okay.
because she's like, you know, I like those,
Uh-oh.
right? So, all right. And I thank you all again so much for being here because the Straight No Chaser show's focus is on what? Economics, entrepreneurship, investment, enrichment, and empowerment because our communities really need it. So, with that, we will see you in 2 weeks back in the Intellectual Studios. And Earl, we are signing off. Have a great evening, everyone. Peace and blessings.
is straight talk with no chaser. He gives the people a voice, empowers you with a choice. She gives you straight talk, no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. She provides a platform of growth and gives a dying people hope. She gives you straight talk, no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser. Straight talk with no chaser.